There's absolutely competition, and competition is never a bad thing. It helps to keep you on your toes, so to speak. But as I mentioned, there are a number of things. First, I feel that the talent, the people, and the quality of Red Nucleus. I think when the clients think of Red Nucleus, if we ask them to say, think of one word to describe the organization, I think they would say excellence. I almost said a commitment to excellence, but that would be 3 words. But they would say excellence.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Business Ninjas. I'm here today with Larry Freedman, Senior Director of Business Development at Red Nucleus. How you doing today, Larry?
I'm doing great, Andrew. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for spending some time with us on Business Ninjas. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and about Red Nucleus.
Well, yeah, as you mentioned, I am a Senior Business Director at Red Nucleus. But before I go to Red Nucleus, I just want to give a bit about my broader background, because I spent 31 years at the pharmaceutical giant AstraZeneca.
Wow.
So I was in almost every field sales role that you can be in, from being a sales representative to a first line manager, to a second line manager, to a third line manager, head of sales, national sales director role. From AstraZeneca, then I got to Red Nucleus roughly about 4 months ago. And so I'm able to bring my skills and experience and insight from my roles at AstraZeneca to Red Nucleus. And Red Nucleus really is the leading provider of learning solutions for life science organizations. So I get to continue to leverage the relationships that I've built over 31 years, and also provide the expertise that I have to a number of companies, not just one, like I did for most of my career.
Well, hey, those sorts of perspectives are invaluable when you come to a new company. And talk a little more specifically about what sort of services Red Nucleus provides.
Yeah, so Red Nucleus, as I said, provides learning solutions, but it's even much more than that. So at Red Nucleus, we really provide services such as learning and development, also in terms of medical, helping organizations really through the FDA process. Market access or managed care is another area of expertise, as are setting up meetings and communication plans with organizations. So when you think of Red Nucleus, really think of Red Nucleus as your full service partner to any life science organizations that really is looking for specific expertise in any of the areas that I just mentioned.
Oh, so you're sort of a liaison into that world for anybody that needs to make connections and grow in the medical field. Interesting.
Absolutely. And my specific area, Andrew, is leading a group called Essential Skills.
Okay.
So essential skills sometimes are referred to as soft skills, skills such as influencing, skills as negotiating, persuading, communicating with confidence, business planning, among others. So we assist organizations in the Essential Skills division with those types of workshops and thought leader type facilitation.
Excellent. And when did Red Nucleus come to be? What's the origin story there?
Yeah, Red Nucleus came to be over 20 years ago. And the organization started, I believe, with maybe a half a dozen people. And just through rapid growth and expansion, even more so recently, and the number keeps growing. So I'd probably have to check today's daily tally, but I believe it's over 850
Wow.
employees are now a part of Red Nucleus's amazing culture.
Excellent. And what verticals are you servicing? Who are your clients?
Yeah, our clients are really life science organizations. So when you think of life science, it could be everything from a massive pharmaceutical company to an emerging biotech to a device type company focused on medical. So really anything within the life science space or vertical is a potential customer or client of Red Nucleus.
Excellent. And what are the most common problems you're solving for those clients?
Yeah, generally speaking, Andrew, it's a client that may not have either the expertise in-house to deal with some of the subjects that Red Nucleus are experts in. They may not have the capacity in-house. In small organizations, it's not uncommon for one or two people to be the entire training department for 100 or more people. So that's a lot of work, and sometimes that work really needs to be outsourced with experts that we have at Red Nucleus.
Okay. And what makes you stand out from your competition? I assume you do have some competition.
There's absolutely competition, and competition is never a bad thing. It helps to keep you on your toes, so to speak. But as I mentioned, there are a number of things. First, I feel that the talent, the people, and the quality of Red Nucleus. I think when the clients think of Red Nucleus, if we ask them to say, think of one word to describe the organization, I think they would say excellence. I almost said a commitment to excellence, but that would be 3 words. But they would say excellence.
Yeah.
Because that's the expectation, is that Red Nucleus and every member of Red Nucleus delivers excellence to their client. I also think the differentiator are the broad range of capabilities. We call it at Red Nucleus the red thread. So let's say, for discussion's sake, an organization, a life science company, is launching a new product, which is something that they usually will do every year, at least one. Not every company, but they're very common, a product launch. When you come to Red Nucleus can first of all help build out all of the curriculum. So the product knowledge in terms of the disease state, the specific product modules in terms of the training. They can share gamification, so games in terms of engaging the learners. But it's even more than that. Then you want to have a national sales meeting. As I mentioned, there was a company that was recently acquired called Element H that is now a part of Red Nucleus. You can go to Element H and they will help build out the entire meeting. Then let's say the organization wants workshops, skills-based workshops. They don't have to look at another organization, another vendor, because Red Nucleus, that red thread, wraps all throughout. So that to me is a differentiator for this great organization.
It sounds like a one-stop shop for everything you would need to go to market with a new product in that field.
Well said. Well said.
In any particular type or size of company you work best with?
No, like I mentioned, there's no company that's too big, and there's really no company that's too small. I've personally, in the relatively short time that I've been there, I've partnered with organizations that have one person overseeing training, onboarding, and leadership development. And then there are organizations that would have, perhaps well over a dozen people in some of those same roles and responsibilities. So it's variable. And, to me, I like all the clients the same, whether they're big, small, medium, it doesn't matter. My aspiration, my personal aspiration in my organization is to bring excellence to those clients.
I applaud that approach. Now, I know you've only been there a few months, but the last couple of years, I'm sure, have been very busy for a company like yours, because all of the life sciences companies have had to pivot and bring things to market quickly in the context of testing and safety and COVID. Tell me how Red Nucleus has been able to grow in the last couple of years through COVID.
Yeah, well, one of the ways they've been able to grow is through acquisition. So as I mentioned, I mentioned Element H. So they're a company that was absorbed by Red Nucleus through an acquisition. Red Nucleus, when they look at kind of the type of products and the type of assets that we can bring to an organization, if there's a gap, they'll look to solve it. So the Essential Skills Group, the team that I'm on, was a team also that was acquired through an acquisition. So that's certainly one of the ways they've been able to grow. I think the other way they've been able to grow is really twofold. First, existing customers, when there's opportunity, they come to Red Nucleus. The customer retainment is very, very good. The other thing that I've experienced are referrals. People say, "Oh, you're working with Red Nucleus," and they'll want to then talk to me, or even through one of my colleagues who's in a different function. They'll decide they want skills workshops. So referral comes in that way. So the company continues to grow and grow and grow. Also because of the quality of the work that we do overall.
Excellent. Hey, it's 2023, and it's time for companies to tell their story, because people meet remotely now and they're not across the desk getting a sense of you and why they should do business with you. What role has content played in the growth of Red Nucleus?
Yeah, well, first of all, you can go to the website at www.rednucleus.com. So there's all sorts of content there on the website. But in addition, LinkedIn. I know that Red Nucleus has over 20,000 followers, so that's a platform that's regularly used. Some of the thought leaders and experts at Red Nucleus are involved in webinars. So getting a webinar out there is also another way. And of course, Twitter. I can't speak to Instagram and other, because I'm not on that platform, but those are just some of the ways that Red Nucleus really uses their content and gets out there in terms of social media.
Excellent. All right. Put on your crystal ball and look a year from today. What would you like to be celebrating personally and professionally?
Well, I can say on the professional side, again, being here a relatively short time, 4 months, I would really love to be celebrating the excellence that I bring to clients and how the feedback that we receive, not just in terms of verbal feedback, but feedback can also be received when customers want to invite you back, when you become a part of what they're trying to cause, and you form a true partnership, you form a true relationship, and you form a true trust with your clients. That's something that I would personally love to achieve, and really on behalf of Red Nucleus. In terms of personal goals, I could sit here and tell you I want to run a 5K, 10K, but don't goals have to be realistic, smart goals type of thing. So I guess we'll leave that one alone for now.
Larry Freedman, Senior Director of Business Development at Red Nucleus. Thank you for spending some time with us today and let me peel your onion a little bit. I wish you and yours all the best and all the success at Red Nucleus. And hey, maybe a 10K's in your future. You never know about these things. I know at my age, my knees say no, but hey, maybe you're in better shape than I am at this point.
Well, thank you. My knees and back say no. So, but again, thank you, Andrew, for the opportunity. It was a pleasure being here with you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you spending some time on Business Ninjas. Be well.